Hello, Key Stage 2 parents and students. It's Mr. Wadsworth here. I am just going to share a short video explaining all about our Padlet and our home learning menu this year. So each year group will have their very own Padlet, and this is a one-stop shop, everything you need to know in one place. So I'm on the Year 4 Padlet, and this is very similar to all of the year groups for consistency across the school. You'll see the headings at the top: home learning menu, spellings, timetables, Arabic A and B, Islamic A and B, and French. And I will talk about those headings a little more, but let's delve into our home learning menu. So this is what our home learning menu looks like, and it is the same across years 3, 4, 5, and 6. You will see there are different headings and different tasks that will be set for students over the coming weeks in different subject areas. Let's just start with Sentry. So Sentry is a fantastic online learning platform. It looks at English, maths, and science. And each week, your teachers will assign an English, maths, and science assignment, and we call them nuggets, okay? And this is for you to complete. It is all done via iPads, and the class teachers will send out login details in due course. It's really important that you do discuss your results with your parents and class teachers as well, because this really does identify your strengths and next steps. If I just click on the top tab here, I have logged into Sentry as one of our students, and on your My Path tab you can see below these are the due assignments. So you've got English, science, and maths. If I click on one, this is what the home learning will look like, and you've got a couple of options here for learning material. So if you're a very visual learner, you can watch a slideshow. If you're more of a verbal learner, you can read the slide on the screen, and as you click next, you will then be asked questions based on the learning materials. Okay, and that's the same for English, maths, and science. I have just switched between the My Path and my dashboard because this is really important for students, and I've just clicked on courses, and this is really ideal for students to know, and parents as well, and of course teachers. So as nuggets have been set, assignments have been completed, and diagnostics as well, you will see that there are some really useful and helpful tabs on the screen. You'll be able to see the students' strengths, what areas of the curriculum they are doing really well in. You'll be able to see areas of improvement. So what are the students' next steps? What do they still need to work on in order to achieve curriculum objectives? You'll also be able to see stretch with, and that's really a fantastic tool. What areas of the curriculum do the students know and know well, but could even know better if they increase their depth of knowledge? Okay, and also it gives students some objectives to focus on to improve. I think this is really important, and it's extremely important for students to know as they move throughout the year what their strengths are, what they still need to extend, and any areas of improvement. Back to the Padlet now. On the left hand side you can see we're really pushing our times tables. By the end of year 4 it is an expectation that students know their times tables up to 12 times 12. So TTRS is our times tables rock stars, and the usernames and passwords will be sent out by class teachers. On here students can practice their times tables and the multiplication and division facts. These links here are hyperlinks, so you can click on these and it will take you directly to the websites for Times Table Rockstars, the Sentry, and the Padlet as well. You'll also see that we have a specialist home learning offer. So any Arabic and Islamic home learning will be found on the Padlet under the headings. And there is also some French home learning that can be found on the Padlet, and this is optional. Moving on to into the middle and right hand side, we have our spellings. So each week we ask that students practice their spellings that are set on the Padlet. They use strategies, and these strategies will be shared within school time as the teachers will teach the spelling rules. And as I mentioned, they will be found on the Padlet. Now, it's really important for spellings that the students learn the spelling rule. It's not about a memory test. So we're not asking the students to memorize the spellings. We're asking the students to learn the rules so that they can apply these when they're doing their written work in their books. Okay, so that's why on a weekly spelling we won't test students on all of the spellings. We will only choose 3 of them, and we will be looking for the application of the spelling rule rather than memorizing. We also have our reading offer, and there are 3 different offers here. So at the top we have our AR book. Okay, this is our accelerated reader book. Now, each child is assessed in the classroom for a low stakes quiz using a platform called Star Reader. This gives the children a zone of proximal development score, which identifies the type of reading and books of their current reading ability. So all of our books in the library, a vast majority of them are linked to this system, and the students can take a library book based on their ZPD score. Once they finish reading the book, they bring it back into school and they can quiz to see if they have understood and have answered the comprehension questions correctly. And this is celebrated throughout the year groups as the year goes on, and further details will be provided by year groups and class teachers. We also have our home reader book. Each student is also assessed against the PM benchmark to find the correct reading level to teach explicit reading skills. So in the coming weeks, students will bring home a level text. It's important to note that this text is 2 levels below their book that they will be reading in their guided reading sessions. But this is to practice those really key, important reading skills independently, and these are fluency and comprehension. We also have our library books. Now, each week students have the option to take out a book from the library, free of their choice, to support reading for pleasure. So there we have it. That is our home learning menu in full. And it's really important to know that even though this look remains the same, each week everything changes. So spellings will change each week. There'll be a different spelling rule. Specialist home learning will change each week. Times tables, rock stars, there'll be different elements of times tables, multiplication and division facts each week that the students can practice upon. And Century, all assignments will change every single week. So students won't have the same English, maths and science assignments. This changes week on week, and it will depend on what the students have been learning in class. So the assignments will act as consolidating learning, extending learning, but also can act as a bit of flipped learning as well, where teachers might want to see what the students already know. Okay, so it's really important to remember that this, even though the display and how it looks remains the same, everything in the background does change each week. I'll just go back to the Padlet. Here we are again. Okay. Thank you for listening, and thank you for watching the video. If you do have any questions whatsoever regarding the home learning menu, Padlet, spellings, etc., please do reach out to your child's class teacher or head of year, as they will be more than happy to support you. Thank you.